We often think that, well, that a day will come and I'll make a decision to be the right kind of person, the kind of person who can be married, who can love, who can value, who can sacrifice, who can be relied upon. But you build what you are one day at a time, one moment at a time. You build the brain you live with, you build the character that you live with one day at a time. And that's what makes pornography, which is just inundating kids from the earliest days of their life. One day at a time, they are building a brain. They will be incapable of sustaining a long-term relationship because so much about a long-term relationship is ordinary. Mirror neurons are the very things that build our expectations and that build the emotional skills or destroy the emotional skills that make love possible. 90% of the most popular pornography includes physical aggression. The bigger challenge that young people face is that their pleasure center is 2 to 4 times more active in those early years than it will be once they hit adult years. So there's a break with an adult that often is simply not there for a teen. To me, one of the most important insights that I think I've ever gained in terms of mental health is to understand this. We were never made for Luna Park, we were made for a garden. When God created man, he put him in a garden. He didn't put him in Luna Park. He didn't put him in this environment where he was constantly sensory overloaded. We were created for gentle pleasure. We were never created for relentless, intense pleasure, and the moment you keep that up, dopamine receptors begin to shrink. Now, the same thing that thrilled me a week ago doesn't thrill me as much this week because the receptors are shrinking. You begin to realize, I'm going to have to stimulate this more, I'm going to have to go harder, find something more extreme to get the same thrill. As my dopamine receptors shrink, they're gentle pleasures. I used to hold a hand and I like that. Now I hold a hand, I feel dead. The breadth of experience in a human life that's capable of giving you any joy gets narrower and narrower and narrower till it comes down to 1 or 2 singular experiences where you can break out of the emptiness of life. You've actually dug a hole for yourself. You're digging a grave. So now you're down a hole and you can't see what you used to see. You can't feel what you used to feel. And life is becoming increasingly desperate. People won't put up with that. They'll do whatever it takes. Either they'll kill themselves. I mean, suicide is a serious mental health issue when people run into anhedonia. Someone drained the joy out of my life. How did that happen? Pornography is still a doorway to the stimulation of that phenylethylamine. Stimulate the excitement, get over the threshold, feel for a brief moment, yeah, I'm loving my life. And then as those lights begin to go out, you'll turn off that TV or you turn off that video. All the greyness comes creeping back in. You've thrilled yourself to death. You need support, you need help, and you need encouragement because you can't see any future for yourself.
Is there hope for someone for their dopamine receptors to be redeemed or to recover? How does that work?
Man, the pathway for some can be pretty tough. It depends how deep down the rabbit hole and how long you were down the rabbit hole and when you started going down the rabbit hole. I had a 12-year-old boy stand in front of me after I talked about the issue of the pleasure center, and he knew he was in serious trouble. And he said to me, "Is it too late for me?" And I said to him, "Son, no, it's not too late for you, but I wouldn't leave it any longer. The hole that you're in has the capacity to consume you. Start now. You need Jesus now, and you need to begin to walk with him now because you're building the brain you're going to live with for the next 80 years.